In MAGA's latest attempt at a gotcha moment, they just continue to own themselves. The new talking point coming out of MAGA is, well, people on the left don't want us to find waste, fraud, and abuse, yet they were fine with it when Obama did it. And so I get tagged quite frequently in videos like this.
Have you seen this? It's a couple of guys you know very well, in power for a very long time, who appear to be fans of Doge before there was ever a Doge. They made all the promises, said what they wanted to do, and they seem to be in support of what's being done now. Do me a favor, follow if you like what I laid down. Let's watch this together.
Budget reform is not an option. It's a necessity.
The American people are entitled to transparency.
We can't sustain a system that bleeds billions of taxpayer dollars on programs that have outlived their usefulness or exist solely because of the power of politicians, lobbyists, or interest groups.
They're entitled to be able to figure out where their dollars are going, and they're entitled to accountability to make sure that we're using the dollars for what we said it was for.
We are going to go through our federal budget, as I promised during the campaign, page by page, line by line, eliminating those programs we don't need and insisting that those that we do need operate in a sensible, cost-effective way. What should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody.
We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue.
No amount of waste is acceptable.
I agree with them wholeheartedly. Of course, they never did it, and then they blew government up and spent even more money. I mean, heck, the second guy in his 4 years, what, $7, $8, $9 trillion? I mean, come on. So now you've got an organization, Doge, that is under the current president, and they're actually getting it done, and people like those two and those who follow them all disagree with it. Why? In fact, they're attacking it. Make sure you follow. Make sure you...
Got all that? So now here are the problems with this new narrative. One, nobody is attacking finding waste and fraud. Nobody. What we're attacking is Elon Musk being granted permission to go through all of our personal information, our financial information, and have access to every single dollar that the government spends, how it spends, and where it spends it, as a non-elected official of a non-existent, unconfirmed position. This is a position that did not have to go through a confirmation hearing because it's a department that doesn't exist. That's what we have a problem with. Now, what you saw in that video was Barack Obama and Joe Biden when the two of them were president and vice president talking about attacking waste and fraud. And you heard Joe Pags there say that they didn't do it. And hell, when the second guy there was president, he ran up, 7, 8, whatever trillion? Here's how much he ran up. 4.3 trillion in 4 years. Once again, compared to the 8.4 trillion that your guy ran up. The guy who claims he is currently looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. Doubled the guy who you say ran up 7 or 8 trillion. No, 4.3. Now, as far as the first guy signed $1 trillion in discretionary spending cuts into law through the Budget Control Act. $1 trillion in actual discretionary spending cuts that you can see and verify. 1 trillion. What has Doge cut? Be specific. Don't tell me they cut waste, fraud, and abuse. Show us what they've cut. Because while we can show you the $1 trillion that Obama cut, while we can show you the amount of debt that was added under Biden and how it compares to that under Trump in both COVID and non-COVID spending, all we get out of the current administration is we're finding it, we're cutting it, we're finding it, we're cutting it. Where is it? Show it to us.